Coming at you live from Boots on Ground Radio. This is Be a Boss, Data Boss. Boss. What word am I saying that for? I don't know. I just saw a post from Toby Bost, our former retired North Carolina Cooperative Extension agent. So that's why that was on my name. And anyway, my name is Eric Jones. I am the turf teacher. I am here with my lovely future bride-to-be, Jennifer Bodford. What's going on, baby?
Hey, baby. How's it going?
Just another busy day, another busy week, another busy month.
Yeah.
A busy life.
I know. It's like rush.
And
all day,
okay.
Every day.
That's okay. Are we gonna take this Facebook Live, or are we just gonna do what we're doing?
I don't know. I was contemplating that. I'm curious if our listeners prefer listening to us without seeing us or listening while seeing us.
That's a good question. So what do we do? Should we go live on Facebook?
I say let's do it.
Let's do it.
I say let's do it. Let's just put it.
You want to do
there.
it from your phone, or do you want to do it from?
Let's do it from your phone, but silence your notifications,
All right.
and then we'll and then I can watch comments and stuff from my phone.
Okay, and so I guess we should make it. Should we go Boots on Ground Radio? I guess we should do that. I don't know how to silence these notifications. Go to that. Anyway, guys, welcome. We missed last Monday night due to a Wake Forest basketball game. That comes first and foremost. I don't care what, if we were to have a child or anything, an extreme emergency, we're not going to miss a basketball game. So we had to put that on the back burner.
Well, we missed everything last night last Monday night for the basketball game.
Yeah, we did. So, it's got to be 60. So we got to go from my page. We can't do it from the Boots on Ground Radio.
Oh, my goodness. So we just learned something, y'all. Just so FYI, if you've just started a page and you want to go live, it has to be at least 60 days old or have at least 100 followers. So you know what that means? That means we're going to have to push for some followers to get them on here.
That's right.
Okay,
Which,
so
we're not far from that, but we can actually go.
we have children, or should I say child, in the room. Child. He's not really a child. He'll be 17 in a month and a half.
Yeah.
So he's not really a child. We're trying to get dinner in the oven so that it will be cooking. It's all about time efficiency, time management.
That's right.
So I wanted to have dinner in the oven cooking while we were doing our podcast.
We were doing this.
Instead of waiting and doing it after the podcast. So see, this is all part of what it's like to date a boss and be a boss. You're being a boss during the day. You're running businesses. You're trying to run life, run family, run kids. And then you have to decide, do I cook dinner before we do the podcast, or do we cook dinner after? So I figured let's have it cooking while we're on the podcast.
While we're doing it, right?
And then I had my son to put a timer on. I was like, check the time at such or such time and go get it out of the oven so that we're not rushing around here trying to get stuff done or having burnt dinner. I would hate for our dinner to burn while we're on the radio.
While we're on it.
I mean, that would be bad. Although you might like it crispy.
Certain things I do.
Certain things you do like crispy. You like your meat.
I do. I like burnt bacon.
You like rubber tennis shoe soles for your steak. Me, however, I like my meat a little bit with a moo in it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Well, it looks like we got some Facebook stuff going on over here. So
I think it needs to be a little bit. Does it need to be further away from us?
It might need to be further away. I need a stylist. I need somebody to come in here, check my makeup and my hair. If we're not doing it without a video, it does not matter. But when you're on video, I mean, us girls, we like to look halfway decent. At least I do. I can't speak for all women. I'm just speaking for myself.
Oh, goodness.
So now that we're live on Facebook, this is always fun to go live on Facebook because then you get to see who is actually watching us.
Who's actually watching, who's commenting, who's doing all the The good stuff. You look good in your turf teacher shirt.
Thank you.
That is the bomb.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was this or my sweatshirt. I had a sweatshirt on all day, and I asked you right before. I said, should I go change my shirt if we're going live on Facebook? And you're like, well, babe, it's up to you. And I was like, I wore that sweatshirt on the last
But that
live.
was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago. Look, I got the Boots on Ground T-shirt. You've got the turf teacher shirt, which we've got to get these turf teacher classes up and running. Guys, I know we had several calls today, on the turf line wanting to know about our class that's coming up right after Christmas. So we'll enjoy Christmas holiday. And then, what is it, the 26th or the 27th? We're doing 2 days back-to-back in Raleigh, a full day of pesticides, a full day of landscape contractor, irrigation contractor credits. Or are we the 27th and 28th?
It's the 27th and the 28th of December.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. So that's right. And then we leave the 26th because we're going to get down there and get set up in the hotel and stuff. So it's the 27th and 28th. We'll be in Raleigh, teaching those continuing education credits. So, Charles, what's going on, buddy? Ohio. I was wondering where you were from, dude. So now I know you're from actually Ohio State, one of the great turf grass management programs in the country. So that's how I choose which football teams that we pull for in college football. If they've got a turf grass program or a landscape architecture program, that's who we're pulling for. So, and our team is Wake Forest, but Wake Forest does not have turf grass or anything like that. But that is A-okay. So, you're watching the comments there?
Yeah, I set it up on my phone so that way I could see. Look at that. See? And I got my volume on. Let me turn that down. There we go.
So you can see that we're just maybe a little bit delayed.
We are. So if somebody comments and it takes us a few seconds, just.
Look, it says you're watching.
I know. Jennifer Boshford is watching. I'm a star.
Oh, good deal, man. I always like Wake Forest. Dude, you need to come down and hang out with us, bro. We go. We did miss a game Thursday, though. Oh, my gosh. And I said we never miss it, but we did. We totally forgot about it. And even Danny from church said that he totally forgot about it Sunday. He's like, dude, I just totally forgot. They played my alma mater, so I should have done that. What's going on, Charles? Hope you're doing well, my friend. It was good seeing you up in Expo in Kentucky. Joshua, I wish we would have got to see you, my friend. We've got to make sure that we connect next year in Kentucky. So I think we're going to do Kentucky a little bit different next year. We're not going to rush up there just for 3 days. We're going to it needs to be a trip.
Yeah, I would like to be up there a few extra days, at least a couple,
yeah.
So we could do things downtown and go, enjoy.
See some of the other stuff.
Yeah, because we didn't get to go to.
Dr. Owens is watching.
Hi, Russ. Hecubus. How's it going?
Dr. Russell
How's
Owens.
It going?
Gosh, man, it makes me nervous that he's watching now.
Oh my gosh. Why? Why you do this with him every day?
I do it every single morning with him. So, oh my goodness. Good deal, Charles. Yeah, it was good meeting your sons, man. That's good getting them started early. So that was cool. We saw him at the Jobber event.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And then we saw him on the trade show floor a couple of times. He stays Sunday through Saturday. So that's actually pretty good, man. To actually get up there because it kicks off with the Jobber event every Tuesday. With Mitchell Gordy there at what was the name of the restaurant? The
kitchen.
Merle's Kitchen.
Yeah,
Merle's Kitchen. So that always starts there. Eating some homemade chicks and dumpling and drinking some tasty integrated pest. No, it's not integrated pest. Yeah, integrated pest application formulations there. So good deal. Aaron Taylor, what's up, buddy? Well, another former student of mine just got married. So congrats, brother. And it was you or your wife that just had the birthday. I saw that on Facebook. So
I just had a birthday too.
That's true. October.
It was 4 weeks ago. Where does time go? Like it felt like it took forever for my birthday because my birthday fell the same week of the expo, and so we were like counting the days down.
But once
to
it
get
got
there.
here,
And then now here it is, almost 4 weeks ago.
Thanksgiving is 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
it's 2
2 weeks
weeks.
Thursday. So
Yeah, it's 2 weeks away. I'm going to get my son to get our lighting set up since we're live on Facebook. We got video going. You'll have to pull it out in front of us just a little bit out in front. So that way we don't have all these shadows behind us.
yeah, Charles, I remember seeing your dad. That's too bright, man.
Man, wow.
That's too
Boy,
bright.
there we are.
Yeah, like
Look at all of our wrinkles, babe.
makes the gray hair glow more.
It does. Maybe drop it down to 2 lights.
Yeah.
I think that's 5 too many.
Yes, way too many.
Yeah, just maybe. Yeah, I think that one is good.
Perfect.
Yeah, the one you just had, the first one, I think that's good enough. We didn't have time to get our lighting set up, so maybe next time we'll get that done before we go live on Facebook. Because
Well,
we decided
again, rushed.
Well, you know,
So.
you've been busy organizing your office today, trying to get caught up on our podcast, get those uploaded.
Yeah, all of the
Spotify.
episodes are uploaded now to YouTube and Spotify and all the platforms out there. And I know Russ is still working on getting the apps situated. I know it's an issue with Apple, but getting our apps, all you got to do is download the app and click on it, and you will hear all the live shows that's going on and the repeats of the shows. And, I've put my lectures up from the college. So we've got this continuous rotation of information related to contracting, service industry based businesses. So we've got it going on there. So and Russ is putting in a lot of work. So thank you, Russell Owens.
So Aaron said that him and his wife both.
They both had a birthday.
That's fun when you both get to party together. Yours was in August, so we
a little bit apart, but
not really.
But it's August 30th.
Yeah, it's only not quite 2 months, maybe a month and a half.
Month and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we got Sierra's birthday. That's halfway in between it, and so it's always there.
We have a bunch of birthdays that happen around this time of the year. There's mine, and then my son Jaden, and then Jared's, and then Summer. Summer just had a birthday.
Summer just had
last
one
week.
last week. Yep.
And then Sydney's is
March 17th.
In March. So we've got a lot. Like
boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
You know what? We're going to be making plans very, very shortly for Kentucky next year.
Isn't that crazy? You have to do that.
So
I don't know where time goes.
I don't.
Well, I enjoy our life, even as busy as it is.
Yes.
I enjoy it. We stay on the go. We truly stay on the go. It's go all day long.
Well, guys, I know we're kind of just tongue-tied here, just having a good time, but I do want to give a big shout-out to all the veterans that are listening. I know Joshua, Russ, listening right now, both veterans, and so, I want to thank you for your service. Especially Russ. Russ, I think, he went to Applebee's for lunch and got his free meal. He wore his airborne jacket.
It's been like the joke all day.
It has, hasn't it? I think I may have went one time to Applebee's and presented my ID to get a free meal, but I just didn't. I just don't like doing that. I don't like doing it. I think the first time you ever experienced that, we were in Boone when we took Sydney up to move into our house, and you had just gotten back from the beach, and you actually met me up there. And we were at Cracker Barrel for breakfast, and we went to pay, and somebody had already paid.
I know that was.
And I'm like, how did they know? I mean, yes, I had a hat on, but it was on backwards, and it was. I mean, it was a multicam hat, and it had been through the ringer, but it was.
There we go.
Well, so all you gotta do is.
I'm not used to this thing. This thing is like
technology. Look,
it
I'd rather have it
that.
on you than me. Thanks for your Home Depot contribution. Yeah, yeah, Russ. Do you need my? Do you? Russ, I'll I'll give you the. He already knows. I don't know what I was getting ready to say. He's already got a veteran ID. It's on his driver's license.
I wouldn't know. I'm not going to know how to act when we get married, and then the benefits roll. I get to.
You'll be.
Part.
Yeah.
I truly would be a retired Army vet wife.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll be an Army wife.
I know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Track here. You had me at track here.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That no.
Those are the memes that are going around, like, a dependopotamus is the women that stand around like hoping they marry that Marine or soldier. So
I was doing just fine taking care of myself. I have been.
Baby, I'm
blessed.
just kidding.
I know.
Kidding.
I've been blessed to be
I'm
able.
Kidding.
Well, but truly, so in line of being a boss and dating a boss, I work hard, running a business, running staff and clients, and then my own household. And then you and I met, and now, I've met somebody who's a boss and runs not just one, but several businesses. You've got like 3 different things going on. And, I think our work ethic and our ability to do what we do coming together as a couple has been amazing to watch that
unfold.
Yeah, it has, and it's been fun. It's been fun to watch us put our heads together. I'm excited to see where we go at this point, because you really were just unexpected coming into my
True.
life. Like
same here.
It was just so unexpected,
yeah.
And I'm thankful that our paths crossed and we met each other. And I truly believe in divine meeting. I believe in all that. I believe that, this was to serve a purpose, and we're finding out what our purpose is together. And we have a lot of things that we enjoy that are similar and compatible. I think you and I are very compatible in that sense.
100%. 100%.
And I thought about this the other day. Some couples, and some of you might be listening, that you're a set of couple where the husband runs the business, the wife goes to work somewhere else because you can't work together. Some couples are better not working together, whereas there are couples that do really well working together. And you and I are one of those couples that do really well work together. So that's been fun to watch that evolve in this relationship. It's been fun, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm having a time of my life.
I mean, in all actuality, yes. And we see each other every day. You go home late or I go home late. There's probably just a few hours a day that we don't see each other. And that's just the short amount of time that we do go to sleep. So, and I love that. I love the fact that we love each other the same way and are both, I don't know what you would say. I don't know. We just need to be loved the same way and love the same way. And so that's, like you said, I think it was divine intervention that we actually did meet because we're so much alike. Mm-hmm. But
it's some days it's a little creepy because we'll say the same thing at the same
time. Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Even with headphones on, Turf Teacher has an amazing hair. And you do too, Joe.
Oh. Thanks, Russ. We like the compliments. Thanks. This one, he always says how great his hair is. I mean, he does have amazing hair.
Me?
Yeah.
Look at that. It's a little bit off.
You're doing pretty good. You're 51 and you've still got a head full of hair.
Head full.
You are fortunate, sir.
Well, look at Russ. Russ does too.
Oh, I know. Russ was showing me some pictures today of some of his past life experiences, and man, Russ, that hair, that one, when I told him he looked like Jesus, he really did, with the long hair and the big beard. I mean, he really did. Wow.
Mr. Hairston, what's up, brother? She fits you, bro. We saw him at the I am an old man. He was at the Jobber event.
Oh, was he? Okay.
He's like one of the first guys we saw when we walked in.
I'm trying to remember, like, I remember faces, and then it takes me
a little bit
around
with
those
names.
faces to start associating the names with the faces and then remembering who they are. So
true.
It's good to see you again. He called you an old man.
I am. I'm 51, but I have a mind of a 25-year-old. And I have a work ethic of a 25-year-old. Not too many guys in their 50s work 16 hours a day.
You amaze me. And I'm not saying this just because I might be partial, and I am partial because you're my fiance, and I love you, so that plays a big part in it, obvious. But I am amazed at your work ethic and your go getter personality. Like, you don't stop. No. Like I can't. Some days I can't keep up with you. I'm like, babe, I gotta take a break. Like, in the morning, like, please let me sleep.
Give me an energy drink.
Go get me a Celsius. Like, I need something. So sometimes I find myself trying to keep up with you. But I do think we do a pretty good job of keeping up with each other.
We do.
You can't expect both people in a relationship to be exactly alike across all of the board, across the whole board. That's not going to happen, because sometimes you do need to complement each other. You and I have talked about how relationships are like a seesaw. Some days you're at 80%, I'm at 20%, and that's when you just kind of lift me up a little bit, versus vice versa. And we've talked about that. We've had some days where you needed picking up.
Yes.
And then there's been days I needed to be picked up. From life. Things happen in our life that get us down, can affect us. And it's important that your spouse is supportive and wants to jump in and help. That's important. And, honestly, it really comes down to being selfless. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I've had to learn in my lifetime in relationship is being selfless, not putting myself and my needs ahead of my spouse. And sometimes it happens, because we're human. We want to put our needs and our wants. Well, why aren't you thinking about me? Well, I wanted this, I wanted that, or I want to do this, do that. But sometimes you got to take a back seat so that your spouse can, feel that love and be reciprocated. Yeah. It's a give and take in a relationship, and I'm not a taker. I'd like to think I'm more of a giver than I am a taker, but even still, I think with a relationship, it boils down to putting the needs of your spouse ahead of your own. And when you're both doing that, guess what? You're both
it's a win-win.
Receiving. Yeah, exactly. It's fully a win-win. But that takes a lot of thought process. It's a lot of thought that goes into that. Okay, I got to take a step back, think about what I'm hearing. What are they saying? What are they wanting? Let's figure this out.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
It does pay to be selfless.
Yeah, and I think both of us automatically are, and I think sometimes we're too selfless. That there may be a time that, especially with outside, we talked about this on the very first episode of setting boundaries that we have to do. And it's like, I've always told you this, I would hurt a million people's feelings to protect yours. And we've both kind of had to learn, we've got to put each other first, more so than anything else. And, that's biblical.
Well, it is, and us being divorcees and having children from previous people, you want to make your kids your number one priority. And that's hard to balance when you're married, you have a spouse who's not the biological parent, and then you've got your children. And, we both come into this relationship with children. And so it's a balancing act trying to keep our kids feeling
included.
Yes, 100%. My son is asking me, are they done? Well, I don't know. I can't see them. So if you will show me, I would probably say give it 5 more minutes. Hey, guys, what we're doing, I'm cooking. So for those of you that have joined, we've had an extremely busy day, and we're trying to decide, do I cook before or cook after the podcast? And so, well, how about I get it prepped and in the oven? And it could be cooking while we're on the podcast. So then when we're done, it's done. And so we have 2 of the 5 children here tonight. And I told them, I said, well, set a timer, check the oven, and y'all can get it out. So they were coming to ask me, does this look done? If it ain't burnt, it probably is. But right now, I think it needs like 5 more minutes. So, and then when it gets to that point, you can take it out.
But, our kids get along.
They do.
Like they do. And, it was my birthday weekend in Boone that, they really got to know each other. We, had a big Airbnb and took Mom and, Sergeant Barrett, the guy that saved my life in the Army, was there. We invited him up, and then Sierra's best friend, Sydney's boyfriend, the boys came up. So I mean, we had a great time, and the kids got together. And something melted my heart last night. When Summer called, remember?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Dad, can I talk to you private?" She's like, "Is Jennifer sitting there with you?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Dad, please." I could tell she was in a good mood. Like, she was in a good mood. And she's like, "No, you sure nobody can hear us?" I'm like, "Yes, honey, yes." She's like, "Well, go in the bathroom." So I had to go in the bathroom, shut the door.
Bless her heart. Don't tell everything she told you. That she might want to keep that private, but
she just said, "Dad, Jennifer's like perfect for you." Like, she's like, "I just wanted to let you know that." And I'm like, "Well, you could have said that in front of her." She's like, "No, Dad, I can see that y'all really love each other." So, and that felt good.
Well, Summer, thank you for that. Yep. That's very sweet. Blending families can come with its challenges. And, getting to know a new person, bringing a new person into your family. And it's not just the kids. It affects your whole family.
Yeah.
Your siblings, your parents, your aunts and uncles, nephews and nieces.
Everything, everybody.
Depending on what your relationships are with your extended family. But, everybody says, "Well, I'm marrying this person. I'm not marrying their family." Well, technically, you really are. You're marrying the whole family, not just that person.
Yep. So
it can be complicated. It brings its own challenges, but on the flip side, it brings its own blessings too.
It does.
You've just expanded your family by how many people? And in our situation, by a lot. I've got a brother and a sister. You have a brother.
Yep.
I've got nephews and nieces and
so
brother-in-law and sister-in-law, mom and dad. And of course, you've got your family and all the nephews and nieces there. So, you are marrying the entire family when you get married. And I'm thankful that you come from good stock family. You was, raised by a wonderful mom and dad who has taught you everything that you know, and you took that and ran with it and used that as your foundation to guide you to where you are today.
Same with you.
Yeah, and your brother, I met your sister-in-law Wendy, and very, very nice people. We haven't gotten to spend a whole lot of time together because we're all busy. Ethan is your nephew, works with you. I've got to go to Kentucky with him.
Yeah, he went with us.
Yeah, and then
Steve is watching this. Steve, I missed the Lighthouse brother. Like,
Steve Dumas.
Yes,
I know Steve. He's a good man.
I miss the Lighthouse restaurant.
So. Well, we enjoy Camel City barbecue. It's,
True,
it's
exactly.
One of my,
I agree.
I hate to say it. There's just no other barbecue in Winston-Salem like what
they do.
What they have. I love their barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
I think they use the same accountant. I don't know. Steve, do y'all use is Arnold Moser still helping you guys out? We'll give a big punch for Mr. Moser, which I absolutely love to death. He's the greatest. But anyway, like I said, blended family, it's great. In the book that I just started reading, The War on Warriors, by the guy from Fox News, that you were.
I read the insert in that, and I was like, man, I want to get a hold of this book and read it when you're done.
And he's just recently blended a family, and so it's good seeing people just like that doing the exact same thing. So.
Well, let's go through here and see who all are watching and just say hello to everybody. So let's see. Of course, Russ, Laura Nichols. Now, I went to school with her kids, Lorraine and Michael and Brandy. We all grew up together. I don't want to miss nobody. Of course, Josh Charles. We talked to him earlier. Charles Miller. Who else is on here? Let's see. Joe Beth Souza was watching. Amanda Padunovac Lunsford. She and I met. It's an interesting story. I used to go to church camp with her dad's church in Kentucky. So, and then we ended up at the same college. So I've known Amanda for a long time. Brent Creech, Heather Allen St. Clair was watching. Joyce Steele grew up around her kids. Stephanie Hartzog, Gina Caboner. I don't know how to say your name. I hope I'm not.
She was a former neighbor, up on Sword Circle. We're on Sword Road. They're on Sword Circle.
Lamont Hairston, we just talked to him. He said not to say that to you because it might make your head bigger. Stephanie Hartzog, she wants to know, when is the big day?
Yeah, I know. We haven't told a soul.
We really haven't told
We
a
haven't
soul.
told a soul.
Well, I take that back. I did tell my family, and I think we've told your family, just kind of hold the date. This is the date. I know. I sent the text to my family. I can't speak for what you do with your family. But
I don't think I have.
I told my mom and dad because we're trying to decide where the location of the wedding.
Yeah. I guess I was waiting for that. Maybe.
Yeah, and we've decided just to keep it very private, just parents and brothers and sisters and nephews and nieces, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we opened it up to all of our friends and all of our loved ones, we would have
thousands. I mean, we really would. We really would.
I just oh my word! But do we want to open it up to everybody, or just do we want to keep it very, very small? And I think because this is not our first wedding, and it is our last, that we want to keep it very small and private.
Very small.
Yeah, so I don't mind sharing the date. Do you want to share the date?
You go right ahead, sweets.
Unless something changes between now and then. We're not planning to have our actual wedding and get married until June 21st. We've got a lot of things in the works between now and then. So, our living quarters.
Yeah.
We've got to.
We got
to order it from Amazon. Set it up. We're gonna live
I'm
off the
actually
grid.
okay living off the grid in a tent. Remember?
I know.
Done that quite a bit.
I have never in my life, and I'm going to say this, I have never in my life seen a man have as much camping gear and equipment that you have. I mean, everywhere in this house, I have found camping equipment sitting somewhere, stored somewhere. It's like playing hide and seek. Oh, look, where's it? Oh, this is my camping blah, blah, blah. It is everywhere in this house.
It's just the way it is.
See, who else has been watching? Several people have been watching.
Jaden Hilton. Now, who is that guy?
I don't know who that guy is. He just thinks he's something else. I do know that. No, that's my youngest son, Jaden. He's actually kind of watching over the food right now, so we make sure we don't burn it.
And taking a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, him and Jared both are our tech savvy
gurus.
Boys. They
wow.
Oh, that's a good picture. That's fun. We have fun with
do.
our kids. Your girls are the coolest though. I mean, they really for girls, you've got really cool girls. Like they're just chill and just
look who their dad is.
I know. I mean, well, they come from a good stock of people. I haven't met their mom, but I do know you, and they're cool girls. You've done a good job with them.
And you see Sierra more than you do any of them.
I do. I see Sierra all the time because
she's here. But she'll be in Boone in January with her sister Sydney. But yesterday, Summer and Sydney, we got to hang out with them a bit. It was just the four of us, and that was absolutely so cool. Because they opened up and were just talk, and
but we laugh and cut up, and that's fun. It's fun when you can sit at the dinner table together and laugh and just have a good old time.
Yep.
And to me, you'll find this out when you come to holidays with my family this year. That's all we do is laugh and cut up. Like there's not a serious moment in the Bofford household. I mean, my dad looks so serious and cool and calm and collected,
but he's not.
But he's really not. When he opens up, my dad's hilarious.
Yep.
And my brother is too. My brother should have been a stand-up comedian. He is so quick-witted and just once he says it, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? That's so easy and so it's so simple, but he knows the time, and it's not just being funny. It's the timing. It's comedic timing that he has too. That's like an art. You can say funny stuff all day long, but it's when you say it. It's the timing of how that falls in there. So he's really good at that. Of course, my brother and my sister-in-law don't have social media, so I don't ever get to tag them in anything. But they're not on social media. And
that's that's hard, especially when you run a business. You have to have it.
Yeah, because you and I were talking about that the other day. If it were up to us, if it were up to you, I won't speak for you. I won't speak for you, but I'll speak for me. I would struggle not having social media, and I'm just being honest. I would struggle not having it, just because it's a social part of my life. You know, where I went to college, I've got friends all over the world, and family. Not all my family lives around here, so you know, it's just my way. You know, back in the day when my boys were little, I paid $10 a month for a website, for a web page, just so that my friends and family could go to www. Whatever it was, so that they could see pictures of me and my kids and our life. And I used to be that mom that would write the Christmas letter and mail it out to everybody. This is what we've been up to this year, and, you know, send our photo card. And I used to pay for a website, and then MySpace came out. So I was like, well, I'm going to integrate to MySpace. And then Facebook came out, and I was like, well, why pay any more for a website when I can do it all on Facebook? And now look where we are with Facebook. Facebook. It's everybody is on there. I mean, the world revolves around Facebook, Instagram, X, which was Twitter.
And I became more in tune with Facebook after I met you. I was more all about Instagram and stuff like that for the business, but when it comes to my customers and definitely my family, it's all through Facebook.
Yeah.
Your mom's watching.
Hi, Mom. My aunt's watching too.
That's true.
Wanda. Hi, Mom. What y'all up to? You need to text in the chat and say hello or tell me what you're cooking for dinner. I'm cooking dinner, by the way. Don't be shocked. No, but I'm making what everybody asked for. They have fallen. Everybody has fallen in love with my sliders.
Yeah.
So my mom says hello. Thank you for that. Glad somebody commented. No, we had several.
You can bring them on the video.
Oh, you could. I know, but she may not want to come on. I mean, I don't know what state she's in. Not state, but
Jaden's like, no.
my son's like, nope. So, Mom, we said no. But no, I got a great mom. I love my mom. She's wonderful.
Yeah. And Miss Wanda.
My Aunt Wanda said hi there. Hi, everybody. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Gray. Say hello. And Jaden.
Other side.
Check the oven, just make sure nothing's burnt in there. But when we took the kids to Boone for your birthday and for Sydney's opening weekend for college, we cooked the whole time we were there. Every day we were cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, I had a good time doing that.
Yeah.
Of course, I come from a family where everybody's a great cook, and I'm thankful for that. My mom and my Aunt Wanda both are amazing cooks. Yeah, they are.
I think, I always like doing that, and I'm kind of like, Costas, a good friend of mine. When it's his birthday weekend, they always rent a house at the lake, and everybody's there, and the mountains just seem to be our thing.
It is.
And so I hope we can get that place again next year, but we don't know the damage that it has incurred from the hurricane that was there. So it was it about 20 minutes from Sydney's apartment in Boone? And, and they had a lot of, damage on the roadway up to her apartment because it was, straight up the mountain. But really not much damage to, hey, Mr. Bofford.
My dad said hello.
It wasn't, really any damage to the structures at the apartments,
which is a good thing. I'm happy for the kids that lived up there. There's a lot of college students that live up there.
Yeah, but the Walmart's still not.
Yeah, that's what
fixed.
Sydney said Sunday, that they still can't use the Walmart. That's amazing how bad it affected.
It floated just about every grocery out.
Devastated. I mean, it just was, and it's hard to believe. Speaking of the mountains and things coming back, the Biltmore is open. It opened November the 2nd.
It did.
And I follow the Biltmore on social media, and I also follow a fan page. And it has been wonderful watching people post their pictures of being back at the Biltmore and in that area.
Yeah.
It's a shame, though, that the front entrance has been forever altered from what we remember it as because of the hurricane, the flooding. It was amazing. I think the flooding was probably several feet. Well, if you look at the gate, the brick gate where you drive through, just go in there, the water level line on that building It's over cars and trucks
Yeah.
high. I mean, I don't even want to say how many feet because I don't know, but just to look
Sure.
at the picture, and it washed out the whole front entrance. All the landscaping is gone. The guest services building that was there to your left when you came in, it wiped it out. I think there was another smaller building they kept, but that building was destroyed. So
Yeah.
coming into the entrance doesn't look the same anymore. But
Sure.
the house wasn't affected, so that's a good thing. I guess because the elevation
was
where
so
the
high,
house
yeah.
is, it wasn't affected. But
Yeah.
the lower plains there at the Biltmore, where the creek or the little river that runs through, and all
Biltmore Village.
their pastures, and they have animals there. They have horses and things like that. They have a farm that's still there, so they've lost some animals because of that, and that's just sad to hear. But Charles Miller wants to know: do you offer clients financing for big projects, and if so, what company do you use?
No, we haven't at all. Charles, we've never really ran into that situation where most people just write checks. But I know with the pool company that we're getting ready to, become a contractor for. So we're getting ready to offer, swimming pool builds, hardscape, the outdoor kitchens, the whole 9 yards with that. So we're kind of moving in that direction away from, the maintenance side. But they do offer financing, and I can't remember what bank.
She told us, but I
can't remember.
Either.
So
we'll find all that out when we get to go to Georgia for that. But I'm really excited about, because that being able to offer that as part of your landscaping design, that's going to be a great addition to your business for sure. And
and it's going to move us in a different direction. Something that I want to go, and we were talking with Russell about that. Kind of phasing out of the mowing altogether. Like it's just time,
Yeah. Well, companies, your business is always evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Always. It's just like Charles said, he lost a job because he didn't offer financing. And the way I look at that is you have to decide what your collateral of your business is going to look like. If you offer financing, somebody cancels, because the company I work with, we do offer financing for our clients that come through our door, and it's a lot of hoops to jump through, and interest rates, and how long you do the service versus how long they finance the service for. That could become a problem, because if you're doing a job and then they finance that job for so many years, it's just there's just a lot of paperwork and all that stuff you just got to go through, and it can and cannot affect your business positive or negatively. Yeah. So,
but we'll have that set up, shortly. I guess we'll do that sometime first of the year. I mean, there's just no time in between now and Christmas.
No, we got too much going on to do.
We were trying to get a weekend getaway, and that's.
Where are we going to find time for that?
Yeah, our weekend. But
our weekend getaway is here. We get away from the house for 30 minutes, and then we're back to work.
Yeah, but Sunday's my favorite day with you.
It is my favorite day with you, too. We just said that yesterday, how much Sunday's always been my favorite day.
Because of church.
Because of church. I grew up, for most of you that are watching and know me, you already know this. I grew up in church my whole life. I mean, my dad is a preacher. My mom supported his ministries that he worked in. We did a lot of outreach ministries for the majority of my life, and my mom was the church custodian, so we cleaned.
Yeah.
When the church was closed, we were there cleaning and doing those things, and so I knew every nook and cranny of the church that I grew up in. And it was, to me, I couldn't wait to get to church on Sunday because it was my life. It was all I knew, and that gave me the love of music. And I went to college the first time for a music major, and wanted to be a music teacher. But as life has it, life changed, and I'm not doing that. But I'm still involved in music. I do that at my church, and you go with me, and you've gotten to know my pastor
really well.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for that.
And me and him have, I wouldn't say, I grew up Methodist. He grew up, Baptist. But
now, my dad grew up Methodist.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Darren is, same age as me. You know, he loves sports, loves college football and stuff. And like we had lunch with him last week and absolutely had a blast. So
I'm glad.
I'm glad. It was fun. And then, you know, to see him as we walked into church Sunday and, you know, he was coming out of the bathroom and, like, you know, he runs to talk to us. Like, you know, he
had splattered water all over his
pants
baby
from
blue
washing.
pants,
Yeah.
and he was like, I can't go in there. I've got to dry this. Got to get this off before he gets back on stage. It was pretty funny. But yeah, but Sundays you come to church with me on Sunday, and we end up taking the kids to lunch, and then we come home and we get stuff done for the businesses to get our week started, because on Monday you're right back in.
You help cleaning the bachelor pad.
Yes, I did do that. I mean, most of you women on here, I don't know, in y'all's world, I can't speak for your world, but in my world, you know, I'm coming into Eric's life bachelor padding it. You've been bachelor padding it for quite a while. And
it's a dude house, ain't it?
It really is a dude house. So I've come in and little by little been changing some things. You know, this is part of being a boss, dating a boss. You know, we're running businesses, and then we come home and I come to your house or you come to mine, and my house is pretty organized and
to the T.
Yeah, clean. My boys get aggravated. I'm like, Mom, you want this place way too clean. Not everybody lives like this. And I'm like, I'm not everybody. And I have to thank my mom for that. And my sons are sitting here like, yeah, she's telling the truth. But I come here, and, you know, you haven't had a woman in this house for a long time. True. And, of course, Sierra, she's a college student, so she don't have a whole lot of time. I've come in here
working and
I've helped you kind of organize and kind of ship shape getting things where it needs to be. Yeah. Like your kitchen.
We should have done some before and afters, because I just didn't care.
I wish we had have. Especially your bedroom. Your bedroom, it's a total 180 from what it was to now where I've gotten it for you.
Well, it was me and 2 dogs in the bed.
Bless your heart. Well, and dogs, that's a whole nother story, trying to take care of dogs in the
hair,
house.
like the hair is everywhere. And we vacuum with a shop vac, guys. Like, I don't really own a good vacuum cleaner. I just went and bought like a nice Husky.
Well, that was smart.
Yeah, big shop vac. So
dog hair can mess up a vacuum cleaner.
True.
That's why they make certain vacuum cleaners for dog hair.
And you like how I did the Milwaukee stand?
I know. Listen, you know, watching you become organized, like I'm sitting here, your office still needs a little bit more work, but you're getting there. Like you are one step at a time. Yeah. You're getting there.
Well, you know, because the guys come in and they change out the battery packs and stuff, and so we still got to get some Crest stuff. So if Lee Withers is still like got any connections
to Crest,
yeah.
That was fun going up there. My mom says I know a great cleaning lady.
Really? Is she close by?
My mom. Knoxville. It's the same distance for her as it is for me. And my mom, and you even said it. When we got back from Kentucky, I had asked my mom, I said, will you clean my house while we're gone? Because I was gone. My boys went with me. We were all gone. I said, will you come clean the house while I'm gone? And then you came by the house a couple of days later after we got back from Kentucky, and you walked in the door, and you was
wow.
like my house was clean before, but this was like super clean.
Well, you know, because I would use the boys' bathroom.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
I would use the boy, and I was like, if I took my shoes off when we were sitting on the couch, and I would go into my feet were always wet when I come out, and I'm like, oh my.
What did I step in?
Yeah. Look at that.
What did he say? I always tell him, you know, if you use the boys' bathroom, go at your own risk.
It's kind of like in the Army, you need shower shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip-flops in the shower.
I mean, when I was in college,
you had shower shoes.
I had to use shower shoes. I never got in the shower without flip-flops on. Yep. Never. You know, this is so funny. I'm going to tell on myself. So I didn't know that flip-flops were called thongs. I had no idea. And so when I've
never heard of that.
They were, because I distinctly remember the sheet that was given to me by the college telling me what I needed to bring to school. And one of the things was like, and you got to keep in mind, this was a Christian seminary school that I went to, and I had a music scholarship there, and so I went to this school, and I get this list like bring thongs. And I was like, why are they telling me to bring thongs? Like, it did not click with me until somebody was like, Jennifer, those are flip-flops.
It's kind of like, it's like Russ, Russ was telling the story the other day on the morning. The Army has acronyms and terminology for everything that's different. Mm-hmm. And he had broke the zipper. They just got back from a deployment, and he had broke the zipper like on one of his coats or something. And he takes it in there, and he's filling out the paperwork at a CIF. And if anybody's ever been in the Army, you know how it is to deal with CIF, Central Issue Facility. And he goes in there and he fills out the paperwork, and they're like, well, we can't do anything about this. You filled it out wrong. He's like, it's a zipper. Like, it broke. We're like, it's, we don't call it a zipper. It's a slide pull fastener. So he had to redo the form and put pull slide fastener. Like, pull slide fastener is what the Army calls a zipper instead of calling it the zipper.
I would have never known that if you had told me that.
Well, it's just the way.
It's just terminology.
The way to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, talking about your Army life, today is Veterans Day. And, I made a post. And for those of you that are getting to know me and have friended me on Facebook, you will learn that I cannot make short posts. So I have a lot to say most of the time.
You do.
And so, but I didn't want to leave my family out thanking veterans. I'm grateful to you, obviously, that you served, and you
I'm
said
very
it,
humble.
Well, you've said this to me so many times that you don't like people telling you thank you for your service, because in your mind it's no thank you that I got to serve.
Thank you for my service.
Yeah. So I and I know that that's how you feel, and not everybody's like you, and I appreciate that, but thank you for your service. I'll say that to your face today. It is Veterans Day.
It was the greatest job ever, and that's why I'm like thankful that I actually had the opportunity to do it. It was some of the greatest people, friends that I talk to still, and thanks to social media, the communication's a lot easier. But I met a ton of great people, and these are people that would die for you. And you would die for them. So it is a bond that you could never, ever meet anywhere else. So,
well, it's definitely a different world in the military than it is as a civilian. It's
let's talk a little bit about that, because
let's do it.
We got Jaden sitting here, and he wears his ROTC uniform to church yesterday. He's looking sharp as ever, and this morning, I watched, President Biden, do the wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier.
I watched that too.
And, things like that kind of get to you. But that's how everybody thinks the military is. Service dress blues, the rifle being thrown up and just caught and perfect. And, that these guys don't say a curse word. They don't do that. I mean, they're pure innocent.
Prim and proper. And it is the total opposite. Like, I wore my dress blues one time. But that,
well, twice. I wore it twice.
But is that to me, I feel like that's not normal across the board in all branches. I think it's because of where you served and what you did. Things were a little different for you.
Well, and here's the thing. I think as if you do a 4-year enlistment, yeah, you're probably going to wear those dress blues as much as you can, because, you want to come home and you're going to wear them to church. You're going to go back to your high school and help the recruiters recruit. And so there is a lot of sense of pride in that. As you get older and you make a career out of it, you're like, that's not a big deal. Like,
well, would I be correct in saying that what you did, you didn't need to be in uniform? There were reasons why you weren't in a uniform because of that. Yeah. So, and I would think the same would be for Russ.
Russ was showing us pictures.
I know, and if Russ is still on, he could probably tell us a lot. I mean, he was in PsyOps.
Yeah.
To me, that's pretty cool, and what you did was cool. I just think you and Russ are just the coolest two people ever.
No, we're not. We're just ordinary landscapers.
Well, you're ordinary landscapers now, but your past life you were not. Scott Arnold said hello, by the way.
What's up, Scott? Did you meet Scott?
I haven't met
No,
Scott.
no, we saw us. Me and Mom saw Scott at CC's Pizza the other day, and I thought, I was like, I just recently saw Scott. So, what's up, Scott? I'm sorry, dude. The election may not have went your way, so sorry about that, Scott. We love you, still love you. Same thing with Costas. These guys had a hard time, seeing last Tuesday night.
Well, I'll say this. I'm very careful to not talk about politics and religion at work
and ACC basketball
and in certain other areas. But I'm just, is it just me, or do you feel like there's a spring in everybody's step since the election, generally speaking?
I think across the board, both parties, I think everybody's glad it's over. Because there was so much tension built up prior to the election, and I think people were just glad that it was over. And really, whoever won, I think once you know who wins, you know how to start
you can
planning and moving forward and thinking about the next election or whatever. But I just don't play into it.
Yeah, I don't either. I really don't.
I used to, and
Costas commenting, who's like, yeah, right.
Costas.
Is it Costas or Costas?
It's Costas.
Okay,
Costas
Don't
Menegakis.
confuse me, because it'll be one of those. I can't remember the black comedian's name. He's hilarious. He was talking about he met somebody and he asked him what his name is, and the guy says Bominicious. So he goes on, and every time he run into this guy, and he was like, hey, Bominicious, how's it going? And they chit chat, whatever. Well, they ended up around some people that knew Bominicious, and he said, yeah, I got to meet Bominicious, blah, blah, blah. I'm probably butchering this whole story, but the guy was like, his name is so-and-so, and he says his real name, and his is by his initials. But he said, just call me by my initials. But the way it sounded to him was, call me Bominicious. And so he called him Bominicious for the longest time, meaning, but he was supposed
just
to call
me by my initials.
My initials. So,
like people call me E all the time.
Yeah, well, and they do call you E. I don't call you E. I call you Eric.
Je m'appelle Eddie.
Je m'appelle Jennifer. So Eric has taught me a little French.
Stop.
A little French. But I was amazed that you could speak French. I really was. You started speaking French, and I was like, ooh la la. Be my guest. Be my guest.
Look, there's Gray. Singing. Gray, I was trying to introduce myself to you Sunday at church, dude. Sorry you got going.
And you know what? If your name pops up that you're watching, we're going to call you out.
Yeah.
So if we see your name come across, it's hey to you. So hey to
Was Gray the one we seen at the restaurant in Moxville?
No, that was Keith.
That was Keith.
Beck.
Keith Beck.
Yeah, he was one of the agents
but
that I worked with. Yeah.
They work in the same office.
Well, Keith is no longer at that office. Okay. But yeah, I worked. So Gray was my agency manager.
Okay, so
he's also an agent. So he's a dual agent.
So he's like the Tyler Stevenson that I use.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
does Gray? I'm sure Gray knows Tyler.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah. It's North Carolina Farm Bureau, so everybody has their own county. So Gray is over the Davie County.
Okay.
Farm
Yeah.
Bureau. And then there's two offices in Davie County, and
Tyler's
I work in the one in Moxville.
Davidson.
Yeah. Yeah, but they all get together at their big agent meetings
functions
and stuff. Yeah. I had plans to be an agent, and Gray's probably mad at me because I didn't ever come aboard because my life was just a little crazy at that time, and I just wasn't in a place where I was ready to make that leap. And but yeah, I was this close being an agent for Gray.
Full Farm Bureau.
And I would have loved to have done it. I mean, I really would have. I would have enjoyed that job. But I was an insurance agent for another company, and then went back into the job that I'm in now as a operations manager for this company that I'm at, basically running our center here in Winston-Salem. So
you have the same title as Hecubus.
I'm an OM. I'm really a center manager / running the operations for this center. So most people say, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I'm basically an operations manager for a company for our center office. So I basically run everything in that office. Yeah. So I do a little bit of everything. But but God opened the door for me to come take this job, and I took it, and I'm glad now that I did, because I had no idea the trajectory of my life, where it was going to go, and so everything worked out the way it was supposed to.
It does.
But yeah, Gray's the one that waved at us Sunday.
Yep.
We tried to come back and find you, but by the time we turned around, was heading that way, we lost you until we saw you in the car as we was passing by. So I didn't want you to think we were ignoring you. But yeah, speaking of Farm Bureau, I have to put in a claim. Somebody hit my car.
Yeah.
And hit and run. I mean, backed into it and then just left.
It had to be a little old lady at the Village Tavern who probably had too many glasses of wine, and she just said, "I better bolt."
Well, yeah, because come to think of it, you're probably not wrong. I don't know if it was an old lady or old man, but they might have had one too many, and if we had have called the cops to do a police report, they might have gotten into trouble, because they might have would have had a little something in their system. So
yeah, we see the same people there every time we go.
I know, it's funny, but yeah, they hit my car, and I did an estimate. It's going to cost me over $3,000 to get my car fixed. Yep. So thank goodness for insurance. Farm Bureau does have the best claim insurance.
I will give it to you hands down. I love Farm Bureau. I would never change. They may be a little more expensive, but to me, that's worth it, because I call the office and they're like, "Hey, Eric," like, it's they know me. They know me, and you have to know your insurance agent just like you do your attorney, just like your CPA, just like your financial advisor. You have to trust and know these people.
It's a relationship.
It is.
It really is. When you own a business, you've got to build that relationship with your clients, and like Farm Bureau or anybody else. I worked for a captive agency. That was Farm Bureau. I left, went to an independent agency where I was an independent working with all different carriers, and not just one carrier. And that was fun, because then I got my agribusiness farm insurance specialist credentials and worked in ag for insurance for that. So I learned a lot about comp insurance, especially for trades like what you do for a living, liability, your property. You want to make sure you have the right coverages.
True.
And most of you out there, if you don't have enough comp insurance for your business, I would definitely do a retake on that and make sure that your equipment is covered in whatever trade you're in. Obviously, if it's financed, you have to have it insured if it's financed. But definitely do a reassessment of your business and your liability, and making sure that everything is covered, because you don't want something to happen and they come after you personally in your personal things. So make sure you've got insurance coverage. So putting a little plug there for the insurance industry, but that was a fun.
Can't live without them.
No, you can't. You can't. But it is a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure doing business with you and working
100%.
in business. Yeah, we've got it. We've got a lot of things coming up, a lot of things that we're going to share over time. One of the things that we have talked about is doing interviews of couples who run their own business. Mm-hmm. And and if you are watching and you are a husband and wife team and you own your own business, particularly in the trade world that Erica and I are in, comment, share, send us a private message, shoot a text message. We'd love to bring you on board one night for our podcast, and have you talk about your business and what it's like dating each other as spouses, but also running your business together and how you integrate that and balance that. We really want to find those couples and bring those in, because there again, this show is called Be a Boss, Date a Boss. You're being bosses while you're dating each other. It doesn't matter if you're dating or if you're married. Even after you get married, you still got to date each other. So we would love to bring couples on board, whether it's the husband running the business and wife is just supporting,
or they're running it together, they're
being a housewife and running the kids everywhere, or you're actively in the business doing back office, or you're actually in the field doing the work with your husband. So we would love to hear from you. Let us know that you would be more. We would love to have you to come on here. We'd love to have you talk about your business and your relationship, because that's what matters to our listeners is, Eric and I could sit here and talk every Monday night about us all the time, but we want to kind of open that up a little bit and bring other couples on to help support and back, what we're trying to to put out there.
And that's just every Monday night, guys. We're live every single morning, 7 to 8 a.m. in the mornings, Russ and I. We're going to start doing live, broadcasts from the different trades offices and supply houses. And, we've got 24 trade shows that we've almost locked in and got the broadcast rights to broadcast live there from 24 different trade shows, man. So that's going to be busy. That's half the year.
That's crazy.
That's half the year.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for, Boots on Ground Radio. You and Russ came together and launched this, 2 months ago probably, and y'all have just been running full steam ahead.
And the sponsors, thank you to our sponsors that are, supporting us and advertising with us. So it means a lot.
So there again, like I said, if you are a husband and wife, spouse team running a business together, we would love to bring you on board on a Monday night and talk about your business, but also talk about your relationship and how that affects running your business and how you balance that with your families. We want to hear from you. We want to be able to share those stories because it will help other listeners that are out there running a business say, we're not out here alone.
Yep.
Sometimes you feel alone. Sometimes you feel like this is the only people that this ever happens to.
Yeah.
And it's not. It happens to the best of us, good and bad. So we want to reach out. We want you to talk to us, and we'd love to bring you on board on a Monday night and do a show together, and interview and let you talk about your business as a husband and wife team. I think that would be awesome.
That would be.
Yeah.
There would be. So, and I know we'll have everything set up more, with the cameras. We've spent the money on the equipment. We just hadn't got it all figured out. So we can actually do it all from the main console here, and we'll have that all in place very, very soon. So anyway, this has been fun. This has been awesome today. So guys, I know we're a few minutes late. It's time to eat. It's time to actually date each other. So guys, we're going to go ahead and end it. We'll have it uploaded here on all the platforms here in just 5-10 minutes. Spotify, Apple Music, the whole 9 yards. Be a Boss, Date a Boss, only on Boots on Ground Radio, the contractor and service industry platform for success.
Yeah, check us out at www.bootsongroundradio.com.
Yep. And very, very shortly, hopefully this week, we will have the app up and live running. And who knows it, we may be on Sirius XM one day. Let's go.
That's the goal, baby. That's the goal.
All right, guys. We will catch y'all later.
Bye, everybody.